Okay, so here I had my 1981 Honda Express NC50. I got this back in 7th grade. Won it on eBay. Convinced my mom to get it. It was in pretty bad condition. It was missing the muffler and all, like the air filter and everything. Headlight bezel was cracked. I epoxied it, sanded it back down, repainted the whole thing. Just the headlight. The rest of the paint on the moped is original. A lot of these parts I had to get through eBay and Moped Army. Thanks to a lot of people that are helping me out finding parts. So yeah, this is a pretty rare model compared to the rest of the Express line, because 1981 was the year where they changed the wind-up starter to a kickstarter. And this is a 1-speed automatic. No shifting gears or anything. This whole bike will be pretty familiar to all the Honda Express owners, so I'm just explaining this for everyone else that doesn't know. But they changed that this year, 1981. 1980 they had put the turn signals on front and back. They put a little bit bigger battery in it this year too, to accommodate for those extra lights. But the frame of it is the same as the 1977 through 1980 models. The other difference is that they changed the airbox, air filter, as well as the carburetor and oil pump cover. It's a little bit different, so that made it really hard to find those, but luckily I was able to find those on eBay and Moped Army. Someone actually found the carburetor cover for me when I had made a post on there, so that was really nice of them. So pretty much the things that I found for this, well, I guess the other thing is they put the auto choke on this year, 1981. So that is a bimetallic strip that's inside that cover on there. And the way the bimetallic strip works is there's two pieces of metal sandwiched together, and they're screwed into that thing, and then it has a valve connected to it, and you see there's these 3 tubes. One of them is air, and one of them is gas that goes from the carburetor, and there's also, I don't know if you can see that little thing connected to the airbox there. That's another filter for the auto choke. And that's where the air goes, or air comes from, that goes to the auto choke. And this valve, when the engine is cold, it plugs the air hole, just allowing for an extra rich mixture of gas to go through that. And then this other tube, the one without the spring on it, goes right down there. You can see that one right there, to the intake manifold. So it gives an extra rich mixture to the engine to warm it up when it's cold. And then when it warms up, the bimetallic strip curves, because these metals have different temperatures at which they bend, so different melting temperatures and all that stuff. So they bend a certain way, and then when an engine warms up, it plugs the gas hole and it lets the air go through, and it just runs like it would normally if you had a manual choke. Usually they'd have a manual choke lever right here on 1977 through 1980 models. So just to go over some of the parts that I've gotten for this. I mean, this is running still the oil pump, it's working. So I'm just putting Japanese oil in this. Since the oil pump does measure like the oil to put in there, you need the Japanese oil brands because the viscosity is specific, and that will only make this run right. I use some generic Eco 2-stroke oil in it, and it smelled like rotting animals when it burned, and it only went 10 miles an hour, so it blew out a bunch of smoke. It was pretty disgusting. So I would recommend for these only to use Japanese brand oils like Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, only those things. I'm using Yamaha Yamalube oil in this
performance oil, and it works really well. And they also run 93 octane gas with some stable in it, just to keep the gas pretty good, because these get roughly 100 miles per gallon, so these are really nice to ride around in the summertime. Really fuel efficient. You can go do little tasks around town. So just to go over with things I've gotten for it, I had to rewire it as soon as I got it. It was completely off, all the wiring, so all the lights work. My low beam on the headlight just burnt out because it's old now, so probably 5 years old or so. I've had it in there, and that low beam is on there whenever the engine's on. So I got new lights for it, redid the headlight casing there. These things are really expensive, so I didn't want to buy a new one. And also the whole rim and everything, it's not cracked at all. I did wipe out on a dirt road, and at least that was the only damage that happened to this. So got new lights, got the high beam indicator, got mirrors. I recently bought a new seat last summer. This was the old one. It's really torn up from I don't know whoever had it before. We got the Airbox and the carb cover. Muffler. It had a bi-turbo muffler on it. That was the flange part was hacked off of the original muffler and welded onto there. I found a video of the previous owner after they had put that on there, so maybe I'll put that in the description of this. So I found the original muffler, got a back fender for it. Let's see what else. I pretty much have redone the whole most of the engine. This is the front end, top end of it. I redid the piston rings and put new gaskets on it. New spark plug cap. Cleaned out the carburetor several times, put new gaskets and everything in there. New tubes for everything, as well as cleaned out the gas tank and oil tank, so oil pump works flawlessly. It's really good. New battery. I put a new flasher in it too from a 6-volt Volvo. My grandpa had found a flasher in his barn in Indiana, so he's got a lot of parts, so he's been able to help me with that. I painted both the fenders, so they're nice and white. Look really good, I think. Painted the kickstand, cleaned off the spring. It looks really good. Cleaned all the wheels, all the chrome, everything cleaned up really well. I put new tires on last summer. I love them a lot. They were only about $27 each, and I did the tubes and the tape inside the rim. And these really absorb a lot of shock. These sport-looking tires. I did that. I also repainted the hubs on front and back because they were a little rusty. I put a new bolt on there last year also. Was able to find the original Honda part. And when I repainted these, I also redid the brakes front and back. I found the best ones to get are the SOK brakes. It's a yellow packaging. The guy sells them on eBay. I guess he has some on Amazon too, but eBay, that one I found, those are the best brakes to get for these. I tried some other ones and they were really bad. The pads were really thin on those other new ones, so these SOK brakes, the pads are really thick, and I think they'll last a really long time. I cleaned the oil pump also. Like I said, oil pump works good. I don't intend on running premix on it because it works fine. I'm trying to think what else I did. But I mean, yeah, this whole thing, I've been working. I pretty much finished all the things I wanted to do to it last summer. And I've been working on this since I was in 7th grade. So I do have this other one I just got a week ago, this Urban Express 1982. It's in pretty ratty condition. I haven't had it running yet, but I'm going to do a video on that right after this one. But I guess that's pretty much all I have about this one, the NC50. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start this up for you. The auto choke is there. It doesn't really work that well. Most of the time what I have to do is I have to screw in the air fuel mixture screw, which I don't know if you can see in there, but I just stick a screwdriver in between there. I keep one on my handlebars just in case it doesn't start with the auto choke, but if I do shake it to the right side, the gas starts flowing through the tubes, which is kind of interesting. But just give me 1 minute and I'll pull this outside and I'll start it up for you. The other thing was that the ignition did not have the key when I got this, so I took it to Nicholson's Honda repair shop. Found out recently they closed down, actually, which is unfortunate, but they opened the tumblers and they made me a key. There are 2 keys, which was really nice. So just to start this thing, all you have to do, put the key in. When you turn this on, that turns all the lights on, the horn, everything on. This one turns the engine on, or it allows the engine to start. Turn the gas on, the air valve to let the air through so the gas can go in the engine, and then turn on the Petcock. And that's with the kickstart, so usually this starts just in 1 kick. So the low beam is out, high beam works. I've put on about 2,000 miles on this since I got it. I had 1,800 miles when I got it. When I changed the front brakes, see a little black tube there. That's where the speedometer hooks up. The thing inside the hub seems to not be turning, so probably put 150 miles on it or so, since that's been messed up, but I can't tell the speed yet. I still gotta fix that. But overall, I mean, I'm pretty happy with this bike. I've kept it all stock. This is one I would just ride around the neighborhood just to have fun on a nice day. Like today, I took it out just right before this video. Nice out. Nice day in Northville, Michigan. Yeah, I guess that's it. So, thanks so much for looking at this video, and I'll have something else up for my Urban Express I just got.